Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to do a discussion on 13 reasons why. I have finished, they're not really chapters. If you read the book you know this. It goes by Cassette and Side. So I finished Cassette 1, Side A and B. So I'm going to talk a little bit. I don't know how long this is going to be. It's probably going to be really long, and I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about my notes and like things that bother me, things that are inconsistent, things that are different from the show, because I know a lot of people have watched the show. So the first thing that struck out, well, a lot of things stuck out to me, but the first thing that kind of stood out to me as an inconsistency, and I don't know if this is just Jay Asher forgetting how cassette tapes work, but you don't have to rewind cassette tapes. And it's such a small little thing, but on page 9 she says, rewind the tapes. You don't have to rewind a cassette tape because if you play both sides, it basically rewinds the first side. Small little thing, I know, but it just bothered me. Another thing that has bothered me, and it bothered me in the show as well, but it comes out more in this, is Hannah's not a sympathetic character. She isn't, like, I really don't sympathize with her. And I don't know if it's because I was a very sullen, very, reticent child, or if it was just the way she's written, but she, throughout the first tape, she threatens and blackmails and demands so much of the listener. And I don't know how the other kids react because we don't get their side of this is Clay's story. So we don't get their point of view through all this, but it's very, very, very close to psychological torture. Like, this is almost ridiculously cruel. I think that's the only way I can, like, sending these tapes and the way she talks to people on these tapes are unnecessarily cruel. So, another thing that's different from the movie, and I definitely like it, or in the show, I definitely like it in the show better, is that the map is sent with the tapes, not before, because in the book, it says, a few weeks ago, just days before Hannah took the pills, someone slipped an envelope through the vent of my locker. The outside of the envelope said, "Save this, you'll need it." Which, to me, and I could be completely wrong about this, and I make no, grand declaration that I know exactly what I'm talking about. But to me, there's somebody knocking on my door. I don't want to talk to them. To me, it's clearly suicide for revenge. It's not anything other than this is Hannah taking her own life to exact revenge against the people who were mean to her. So that really bothered me. The next thing, and I am kind of going page by page. I'm just going through my notes. Hannah's kind of stalkery toward Justin. Justin Foley. He's the first person on the tape. on the tapes, and she goes as far as photocopying his class schedule. Now, let's reverse these roles. If Hannah had been Hank and Justin had been Justine, and Hank said to Justine, I photocopied your class schedule, how do you think Justine would feel about that? And to me, it really bothers me. Like, there's liking somebody and wanting to know, like, kind of their activities, and then there's photocopying their class schedule so you can put yourself where they're going to be. That's super creepy, especially because we find out later in the book, and I know this from the show, is Hannah has a stalker. Like, hmm. Stalking is bad, okay? And it's super creepy. Like, there's just a lot of very creepy behavior in general that I've noticed in this book, but that was, um, that was a big part of it. Like, a big creepy factor for me. At one point, um, Clay asks himself, why is he listening? And it's because he's being blackmailed. Hannah says right at the beginning, you're being watched. If you don't do what I say, I'm going to release the tapes, which, again, knowing what happens throughout these tapes, not everyone's crime is equal. And I get that it's trying to show how things build up and build up and build up and build up on a person, but the crimes are not equal. Um, Justin's crime is not equal to Bryce's crime. That's another thing about Justin, show Justin versus um, book Justin. Book Justin started the rumor that he and Hannah had sex. Show Justin took a picture of her coming down the slide and it ended up being a panty shot. Now, they're both but at least Show Justin didn't send the picture around himself. Somebody else took his phone and sent the picture. And honestly, I think Hannah could have handled everything around that situation a little bit better. And I'm trying not to victim blame Hannah at this point, but when you look at her story with Justin, it's just not. It doesn't seem like a reason to kill yourself, at least at this point. Again, we do find out more about Justin and Jessica's relationship and all of this later on. But at this point, going in as a new reader, never saw the show, never read the book, at this point, there are ways Hannah could have fixed it, especially in the show where it's an upskirt shot, where all she could have said or looked at the most popular boy in school, or you know it was sent through text message, like, so reply to the text message, wow, you guys are creaming yourself over a pair of panties? I wonder what would happen if you ever actually touched a boob. Like, I mean, that you have to sometimes knock people down a peg. And I hate to say that, but I mean, when I was in school, I was a very quiet child. I've always been very large breasted. I mean, I was double D by sophomore year, to give you an idea. Always very large breasted. So I was wearing this shirt and it was cute. It was really, really cute. And it was light purple and in darker purple and pink glitter right across the front. It said fantasy. So this guy says to me, "Hey babe, what's your fantasy?" And without missing a beat, I turned to him and said, "Obviously not you," and kept walking. And that guy and his friends never said another mean thing to me for the rest of my high school career. And I think sometimes you just need the confidence to say, "Obviously not you," or "Wow, you're that excited over this?" Like, it it's petty and it's a little childish, but they are children. So it just, at this point, Justin's crime isn't so horrible. And I've talked about that a lot right now. So moving on. Page 17, we get super creepy stalker behavior from Hannah again. Because she memorized his schedule. They didn't have any classes. I haven't even gotten to the part where she talks about what he did. I'm just so mad about this. So, we get to more creepy stalker behavior. Her putting herself outside of his classrooms when the bell rings for changing classrooms, like, that just bothers me. That just bothers me in general. Moving on to page 20, and I don't know, again, I had a very different childhood, I guess, than a lot of people. But I never really had to lie to my mom. Like, I also didn't have any weird, restrictions on telephone use, which, I don't know, but I guess that's not how it is for everybody. Like, I could sit and talk on the phone for hours and my mom didn't care. Like, I'm on the phone. I could talk to boys, I could talk to girls, I could talk to, whoever the hell I wanted to, because I could talk to people because my mom didn't think that every boy was trying to get into my pants. I don't know, I had a very large, diverse group of friends, and none of them were particularly, I don't know. You would think that you would want to foster, healthy friendships for your children, regardless of the gender of the other person. But I guess not. But casual lying in this book is a huge problem for me. I understand that there are circumstances in which kids do have to lie to their parents, whether it be like an abusive situation, or I guess for me that's the most justifiable lying, but none of these kids seem to have like an abusive relationship with their parents. Like, all their parents seem fairly grounded as human beings and not crazy. And I just don't like that because our lives matched, it was a sign. Like, that bothered me a whole lot. Moving on. And I mean, you can see the notes that I make. I mean, I kind of went a little hog wild on this. There was a whole lot that bothered me in this book so far. I don't know. I'm still gonna give it a chance. So on page 24, she talks about her like dream kiss with God, what's his name? Justin. Going on for so long, I don't even know. But Yeah, it's a pretty unrealistic expectation. You're 17 years old, 16 years old. First of all, no 16-year-old kid is some fantastic kisser. Like, it's always awkward. Your first kiss is always a little awkward because it just is. Like, oh, sorry. Um, yeah, the whole thing was just ridiculous. Her little dream sequence lasted way, way, way too long. On page 26, she does talk about wanting to kiss him, and she says, "You are going to kiss the hell out of me whether you like it or not." Wow, Hannah. Wow. That's a bit creepy and yucky and ew. And again, she talks about him starting the rumor, and it's again, I do like the show better because it's more accidental and it does make Justin a little bit more sympathetic. Um, Spreading a rumor sucks, and rumors are harder to deal with. Um, but then again, she could just be like, I don't even know. It's he said, she said bullshit at that point when it comes to rumors. Another thing she says, a rumor based on a kiss ruined a memory that I hoped would be special. And to me, like, the whole reason Justin's first tape is like that is because she put so much of her personal happiness onto him. And first of all, that's unfair to yourself. Because if you make every emotion dependent on another person, you forget who you are. And it's super unfair to Justin because nobody is responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for your own personal happiness. And to blame Justin for your ruined memory, like, I don't want to just be like, get over it, but still kind of like, get over it. Like, it. There's a lot about Hannah that's so. She has. And this is the problem that we have when criticizing this book or this show, because how do you criticize somebody with mental illness? How do you talk about things like emotional abuse or, mental abuse when it comes from somebody who is emotionally compromised or mentally ill? And to me it is. To me, saying things like, you ruined my happiness, is emotionally abusive because you are pinning something that another person has no control over on them. Like, and again, mental illness will do that, and it explains it, but it doesn't excuse it, and I really feel this is what's happening on this particular tape. Um, we learn more about Justin's story and all that later on, but again, I'm actually going to stop this video. I'm looking at the time. I have been talking for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna finish up my notes. I only have a few more. And I'm gonna do side B in a separate video, probably tomorrow or later on today. So the next thing is more casual lying. Clay lies to his parents. Clay lies to Tony. and ends up stealing the kid's Walkman out of the car. And it just, again, all he had to say is, oh, he tells his mom that he's listening to these tapes for a project, and just tell Tony that. Just be like, yeah, I'm doing a school project. Do Clay and Tony have all the same classes? Probably not. Or working on a project for fun, or whatever. Just, I found some old tapes of my dad. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna lie, keep the lie going. It's harder to juggle multiple lies. And my thoughts on the chapter. I'm actually going to read just what I wrote because it'll be easier. So, Justin was a jerk and spread a bunch of rumors with his friends. Wait, okay, I can't read my own handwriting. Sorry. With his friends, and Hannah had to deal with the fallout from that. High school is 4 years of your life, and this is kind of why I'm giving him advice. So, seriously, high school is 4 years of your life. And nowadays, you can move away from the town you went to high school in. After you graduate, you literally never have to see or talk to those people again. And I think that's my biggest takeaway on this whole book and show. Like, going to school, going to college, moving away, you can do so much. And especially if you go to school on a state, or just even on the other side of the state, hardly anyone is going to know you. And even if you do end up at school with Justin and he tries to start that shit, it's easy to shut him down. Like, easy. Also, Justin had no proof of the rumors that he started. Hannah could have said Justin had a small penis, and when he, disputed that fact, others would have figured out that he was lying, and because his ego is so big, there's no way he was going to let those rumors fly. So, it's petty, but sometimes you do have to sink to the level of the other person. And it sounds so bad when I say that, but I tell my little sister, she's 13. I tell her this all the time. Don't let people get away with shit. If someone starts rumors about you, call them out on it. Especially when it comes to things like this. Call them out on it. If, punch them. If somebody touches you, you fucking punch them in the face. Kick them in the groin. This is especially for young girls, but young guys too. If a girl touches you, or if another guy touches you and you don't want to be touched, turn around and punch the shit out of them. Because they invaded your personal space without your permission. And the only way they're going to learn not to do that is if you punch them, or you kick them, or you attack back physically. And again, sometimes you do have to attack back verbally, whether it's, and sometimes you do have to be insulting. And it sounds horrible, but that's about how it is. So, I will be back with Cassette A, Side B, because I have some opinions about that. I have so many opinions about that. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you feel about the show, about the changes that they made for the first cassette, or for the first cassette, for the characterizations that we've seen so far, I am going to put a general warning on these. I should have said at the beginning. I will put a general warning in the description. I think by now, most of us have either seen, read, or, viewed the premise of 13 Reasons Why. It should go without saying that, I am going to be talking very frankly about suicide and all of this. Um, but yeah, let me know um, your thoughts in the comments below, and have a great day. Bye-bye.